All right. We'll start this off. Who inspired you to play music?
Um, let's see. I think it was my mother and my grandmother.
Yeah.
My grandmother was a musician, and then my mother was a musician after her. And she got a scholarship to go to Juilliard. So I thought I wanted to be a musician just like her.
Yeah. What is it like to do regular gigs around your state and yeah.
It's really cool to be able to play around in different areas, because it's fun to see people who follow us around, and see new faces. It's always fun to watch people react to our music and to be able to find something that they like in our music, and go, hey, I know that song, and really just enjoy it.
Yeah. Because of the covers that you do you how do I ask this? Like, do you have any way, do you just pick popular songs, or is there some meaning behind why you pick certain songs? Or
We pick certain songs because we like the way they sound, and we know that they fit our instrumentation and our voices really well. The band that I'm in, the Smoky Newfield Project, we have a lot of harmony. Our voices really lend itself well to 4-part harmony. And so anything that we can find that has 3 or 4 parts of harmony, we know is going to fit pretty well. And then with our instrumentation, we just, with the guitar, the mandolin, the violin, whatever we need, that's how we kind of pick our songs.
Yeah.
And it just has to have multi layers to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to some newer bands that maybe are looking to try to put their name out there?
Just go out and maybe start with open mics to start with, and go around and just play as much as you can. Yeah. And whether that means, an open mic every night or an open mic as many times as you can, and then start doing gigs whenever, if someone says, hey, I have an opening for a gig, take it. Even if it's not the best paying gig, take it. I mean, because just getting out there gets your name out there. In time, it will be where you'll get people going, hey, I know you. So you just really have to put yourself out there, and you have to be not afraid to try farmers markets and bars, and just kind of look for your niche, and you'll find just where you belong. And in one of the days, you'll sit there and go, hey, this is our genre, this is what we do, this is our crowd, and then people go, yeah, that is your crowd.
Yeah. What would you say are some pros and cons of having multiple shows a week, or if
the hardest part for having multiple shows in a week is just having the stamina all the way through all 3 of those shows, or 2 or 3 of the shows. We have some gigs coming up in the next month or so where we have 3 gigs, 3 successive nights, and the first one's going to be pretty good, and it's going to be not trying to put everything out the very first gig. Mm-hmm. Saving a little bit for the second gig, and then still having enough stamina for the third gig. Those are kind of the cons, is having the energy to keep it going. The pros are just that the more you play with each other in the group, the tighter you get, and you can predict what's going to happen. And you just can have fun. So by the third night, you're just having all kinds of fun. You can just go, oh man, last night was, oh, we might have messed up here or we might have messed up there, but tonight I'm just going to lay it out all out there, and I'm going to, you know, play to my heart's content, and I'm going to give everything I have, and you know, so having 3 successive nights, you kind of can go, okay, I can fix this, I can do this, I can do that. Oh, maybe I can try something new.
Yeah. Also, like, you cover a lot of popular songs. I was wondering, like, have you ever thought of, like, adding it or letting other, like, aspiring musicians, like, play with you guys to see, like, how they feel in a live setting before?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually had a few guests kind of play along with us. We've had the brother of one of our band members has played along with us sometimes. A cousin has popped in. We even had other groups, big groups come in. We've had 1 or 2 musicians come in and play with us, just so that they've had a chance to do that. But the more you can let somebody in and let them try things out, that's, you know, that's the fun of it, is like sharing this camaraderie that you can have in the world of musicianship, you know. And it is really just a family once you get started.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yes, I can ask this question. Being in a band with 2 guitars, like, how do you, like, divide up, like, the roles of, like, hey, you play this part and I'll play that part? Like, how do you go about doing that?
Well, I think it's mostly our strengths. I'm a really good rhythm guitarist, and Bill is a really good lead guitarist. He does really good rhythm as well. But if it's kind of a no-brainer. If there's going to be a solo, that's going to be his. That's just his strength. And then if we need some picking done, then we know that that's going to usually be me, because I have a pretty strong on the finger picking style. So we just kind of figured out through that. Sometimes when we need an additional sound, or if I'm playing bass instead of playing acoustic guitar, or even electric guitar, then we sometimes even divvy up the other guitar parts with a mandolin, or we might even use a violin to divvy up the lead guitar parts. When we're really scrambling around to figure out how are we going to cover everything, which sometimes that's where we are.
Yeah.
We're working on a song by Counting Crows. Counting Crows, and
Yeah.
the song is Omaha, and it has a melodica, a mandolin, a bass, two guitars, or maybe 3 guitars, and a drum. And we're trying to put all that together. I'm playing bass, and the bass part is a wicked bass part. It's really sweet. Pretty prominent. You don't want to miss that one. The melodica part is pretty, or a harmonica. It could be a harmonica or a melodica part. That's pretty prominent as well. And then there's a mandolin section in there. And then, of course, there's a couple guitar parts in there. So what we've decided to do is keep the bass, have the regular rhythm guitar with a little bit of noodling going on. And then on violin, Laura's going to play the mandolin and the melodica part when she can, because she can do the double stringing and stuff like that to make the chords and the like the droning sound that you will get with some of those other instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had any, like, formal education as far as music goes? And I guess to add on to that, when you went into, like, if you did go into formal education, how did you think to yourself, like, I want to really be teaching uh, this subject?
I did have formal education. I went into music education actually as my undergrad. And yes, that was my intent, was to go into teaching. I went in as a band director when I went to college for 4 years to become a band director. So I learned all of the multiple instruments that you needed to play. And my whole intent was to be able to be a band director for high school, junior high, college, whatever. Um, and but not necessarily doing rock band or any of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I played guitar, but I wasn't really proficient at it at that point. Um, but then I've done a little bit of everything. I've taught anywhere from beginning band to high school band. I haven't done college. I did community bands for a while. I've done chorus, and then I've also done from preschool music all the way up to high school chorus. So
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to teach, and I knew I went to school specifically to teach music, um, and it was all because of the love of music.
Yeah. And you said that you haven't taught like college level music, but is that something that you maybe want to do? So,
I wouldn't mind doing like teaching a college level. I wouldn't mind teaching an education course, like how to teach music as a college course. I wouldn't mind doing something like that, or even guitar on a college level for beginners. That sort of thing. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. Um, I don't really know that I have the proficiency on any instruments to really be like uh, the trumpet teacher, or because I haven't focused on that. My
yeah.
focus wasn't on performance of my instrument.
It was more so like learning the basics of each thing to help people learn at least the basics so they can further learn if they want to.
Exactly, and I did major in it with an instrument. My major instrument was trumpet, so I did focus mostly on trumpet. But I did learn the other instruments enough to be able to teach those instruments and understand how to use those instruments. And then if I wanted to learn more about those instruments, I would already have the knowledge to do that.
Yeah.
So and then I had the theory knowledge that I needed when I went into education.
Yeah.
Too. I learned the theory, which is very important to know.
Absolutely. I definitely stand by on that. That music theory is so important. I hate when people say like you don't really need music theory to really understand music, but at the same time, like you kind of do.
It helps.
Yeah,
it's so hard to do music without having the theory behind it. You can do it, but you can go so much further when you have both the theory and the knowledge of how to play the instruments, and so you understand things at a different level, and you're just a student all the way through. You can never stop learning, but you can apply your theory all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped learning how to play instruments. I've been playing guitar since I was 10 years old. That's 50 years, and I'm still learning every day how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And I learn new things all the time. And in fact, I've learned some things from you. So.
Well, I very much so appreciate that. I've had an effect on your guitar playing. That means a lot to hear that.
Yep. I've taken it. I've taken any time I see, because you can learn from anybody. I mean, you really can. You just have to be open enough to say, I can learn. I don't know everything, and because you don't know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's always something out there that somebody can teach you, and those aha moments where you say, I never knew that could happen that way.
Yeah,
You know,
it's an amazing feeling.
it is.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of those things. And transferring from one instrument to another, and then going, oh, that's why that works. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing process to go through and understand why all the instruments are the way they are and why you need all the instruments when
Yeah.
you're playing. It's music is so deep
Yeah.
that you know
It just connects with people on a whole nother level.
right exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me about this. It means a lot to your perspective on things.
sure.
And
Good luck with everything.
I appreciate it, and likewise.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.